Our previous risk reports have looked at the potential fiscal cost to reducing the UK's carbon emissions to net zero by 2050. In the report, we examine another important fiscal risk from climate change, the potential long-term cost to the economy and public finances from climate-related damage. We look at two potential scenarios for the path of global carbon emissions and associated rise in global temperatures. A less than 2 degrees rise in temperatures, which would be consistent with a successful global effort to reach net zero emissions by 2070, and a less than 3 degrees rise in temperatures, which would be consistent with current global commitments on emissions. Rising global temperatures and extreme weather events associated with them impose both indirect and direct costs on the public finances. Indirect costs arise from the damage done to the productive potential of the economy from rising energy costs, damage to residential and commercial property, and disruption to product, labour and insurance markets. We estimate this could reduce UK GDP in 50 years by around 3% in the below 2 degree scenario and around 5% lower in the below 3 degree scenario, and reduce UK government revenue and therefore increase government borrowing by 0.7% of GDP in the below 2 degree scenario and 1.1% of GDP in the below 3 degree scenario. Direct fiscal costs arise from the additional demands placed on the public finances due to more frequent and severe extreme weather events. These include the need for more emergency services, repairs to publicly owned infrastructure, and pressure to compensate households and businesses for their uninsured damages. We estimate that the direct costs from more frequent and severe heat waves and coastal, riverine and surface flooding could cost the UK government a further 0.05% of GDP in the below 2 degree scenario and 0.08% of GDP in the below 3 degree scenario. Taken together, the total potential fiscal cost of climate-related damage over the next 50 years could add around an additional 23.3% of GDP in debt in the 2 degree scenario and an additional 32.9% of GDP in debt in the 3 degree scenario. Read our full report on our website at www.obr.uk.